interesting and relaxing to take a little flight, and I will be your pilot. But do not worry, I am a complete and total professional. So this is just going to be a short flight, just to kind of test out this video style. And if it's something that you like, maybe we can do some more interesting destinations and longer flights. But for the sake of this video, we're going to fly out of Palm Beach, Florida, which is where I grew up, by the way. Palm Beach, where is it? Right here. Palm Beach International. And we're going to fly into Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood International. And then we'll go over here to Low Altitude Airways, because we're not flying very far, so we don't need to go very high up in the sky. Let's pick an approach here. Let's see. Whoops. Okay, so we picked an approach here, and as you can see on our flight plan, we are gonna come out to the coast and kind of ride it down and land at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International. And for the time of day, I'm actually going to do kind of like maybe towards around the sunset time, which is probably around 8 o'clock maybe. Kind of want to get a nice little evening flight in, so it's easy on the eyes. And I think we're ready to go. Oh, and we're flying the Boeing 747, so the big jet. And we'll be doing most of this flight in autopilot. So you'll see, I'll kind of show you my process. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just kind of, just from messing around with this. This is how I fly, but it's not very realistic, of course, because I don't actually know what I'm doing. Alright, enough yip yap. One thing I'll do is here on my flight computer, I'm going to zoom out by coming over here to the range, just so that I can see the flight plan, which is that little pink line. And I think we're about ready, and it's very beautiful. We can take a look around. The sun is setting, it's very relaxing. It's nice and dark in our cockpit, and I'll kind of show you around actually before we take off. I really like how the sun is shining through. This is very nice. I like this. But yeah, this is what the cockpit looks like. But let's get back in our seat. I think we're about ready to go, so I'm going to disengage the parking brake. Going to push up the throttle. And we'll just let it pick up speed here so that we can take off. So I need to take off and kind of make a left and turn back to point the airplane in the right direction of our flight plan. And I put the landing gear up. And we just want to do a nice smooth turn so that we line up with our flight plan, which we actually can't see on the screen. I should have zoomed out a little further. Wow, that is just beautiful how the sunset is falling on the ocean there. It's beautiful. Alright, but we are leveling out here. I'm going to engage the autopilot. Okay. And I'm going to engage LNAV and VNAV. And this is going to allow the autopilot system to follow the flight path that would be on the computer. So at this point, the plane is flying itself. It's beautiful. And I'm actually going to zoom out a little further on our computer here, because we can't see the flight path. Okay, there we go. So you can see there, it's got the path that the autopilot system is going to follow. And I'll actually, if we hit this button here, it'll show us the altitudes that we need to be at. So I'll manage the altitudes manually. So we want to be at 6,000 feet by the time we hit that next waypoint. So I'll come over here and set it to 6,000. Okay. And we can see there on our flight computer, we have it programmed, and yeah, so right now we're cruising. And there's a cruise ship down there. Now, I will add that I'm not very good at landing. I'll try my best. So, yeah, so there you can see the Florida coast. And if you remember from our flight plan, we were going to come out to the coast and just kind of ride it south down towards Fort Lauderdale. And the plane is doing all of this turning. It's aligning itself to our flight plan. And it looks like we're leveling off at about 6,000 feet, which is what we programmed. And I think this is just such a perfect time to fly. The sun is setting, and I love how the sun comes through the windows. So I'm just gonna come here and kind of see that I should be at about 5,000 feet. So we'll come over here. We'll set the altitude to 5,000. And we'll start our descent. And then we'll ride this piece here at about 5,000. And then once we hit that turn, looks like we need to be at 2,000. So as we start rounding off that turn, I'll start dialing in the lower altitude. And a lot of people find the sounds of flying, like the noise from the cabin, is very soothing. That white noise, I really enjoy that too. you look closely, we can start seeing the stars in the sky. This is making me sleepy. I really like this. I hope that you guys like this flight simulator stuff. It is very relaxing for me to be playing. I was kind of zoning out there. Wow, this is beautiful. So we're gonna start, I'm gonna start dialing in a lower altitude just to make sure that we're losing altitude at a reasonable rate. So we'll just set it to 4,000 for now and just kind of see where that puts us. And when we get down to about 3,000 feet, I'm going to come over here and hit this button right here. And this is what I believe is called the localizer. And this will kind of communicate with the airport. And it will help line up the autopilot with the runway just to make sure that we're approaching the runway appropriately. So we're getting down to about 4,000 feet here, and I think it's looking good. We're going to start hitting this turn here pretty soon. So we'll just stick here for now. So, as we approach the airport, I will actually turn the autopilot system off, and I will manually land the plane. Or, I should say, I will attempt to land the plane. So, everything is going according to plan here. Looks like the plane is going to start slowly turning here. And if we look, let's just look at our flight plan one last time. Pretty much after we hit this straightaway here, we're going to be landing, so I just want to be ready for when I need to take over the plane. So I'm going to dial in 2,000 feet. Whoops. Kind of fidgeting in my chair here. There we go. Oh, my camera's all off. I got an itch in my back, I think. What's going on? Why is my seat pushed all the way forward? Come on, I can barely fit in this thing. Alright, here we go. Alright. Absolutely beautiful evening, by the way. We couldn't have picked a better night to fly. So at this point, I am going to put down my landing gear. And we can indeed see the runway if you look straight ahead. So at this point, I will turn on the localizer, or localizer mode, or loc mode, whatever you want to call it. And we can see here the plane is leveling off and aligning itself with the runway. Okay, not sure what that means, but thank you for letting us know. And at this point, I will engage the approach mode. Well, not yet. And then I believe the approach mode will actually start to bring the plane down. This is not the time. This is the most crucial part of my flight, and you're putting this in my face. Okay. So, as soon as we hit this little point here on the flight plan, I'll engage the approach mode. About to cross it. Here we go. And there we go. It's starting to bring the plane down. Okay, everything is going smoothly. Now that moment of truth. Now I got this. I know what I'm doing. I've done this plenty of times. I've done this plenty of times. Okay. I will disengage the autopilot and the auto thrust. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna start pulling back. Ooh, okay. That was kind of rough. That was kind of rough. But I would say we're alive. And you know, that counts for a lot. So, there you go. I went completely silent there at the end. I completely forgot that I was recording this. I was so zoned in. Alright, nice. Well, folks, we just landed this thing, and it still works. So, thank you for joining me. This was a lot of fun, and if it's something you like, maybe we could do some more flights in the future, but yeah, I hope you liked it, and Captain Raffi out. Good night, everyone.